Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Today we're taking a look at the Missing Link G1 Transformers Bumblebee figure from Takara Tomy. Now I'm a little bit late to the party on this one because it has been out for quite a while, and I actually picked this up last year in Japan, but it's taken me this long to get around to finally opening it, and I thought I'd open it on camera and do a full review. So let's get on with the video. We're going to open this up and compare it to a vintage G1 original Bumblebee and see what all the fuss is about. Okay, so this is the Transformers Generation 1 Missing Link Bumblebee. This is produced by Takara Tomy, and it's an updated version of the original Minibot that now has much more articulation. And as I say, this has been out for quite a while, but I picked this up in sort of April, May time last year, and this has just been sat on the side here waiting for me to review it and waiting for me to open it up. I've always had a soft spot for the Transformers Minibots. In fact, the very first Transformer that I ever bought was the Transformer Hubcap, and I still have that in my collection today. Bumblebee is another of those rather cool little Minibot figures, and is very similar in styling to the Hubcap figure that I bought all those years ago. Now this is released in a little mini box, which is how most of the Transformers were sold in Japan. Obviously when you bought the Minibots here in the UK, they came on a card with a blister, but all of these sort of Minibots in Japan came in these rather cool little boxes, and so they've done the same on this sort of Missing Link version. As you can see here, it has an image of the actual Transformer there in vehicle mode, and a lovely illustration of Bumblebee in his fully transformed mode with a little gun there. If we turn it over onto the back, you can see we do have some tech specs. There's also a little sticker there that shows this is a fully licensed product, so Volkswagen have allowed them to use the trademarks, which is why you can see it is a proper VW Beetle. I don't remember the original toys having that sort of trademark information on them, and the originals were pretty much exactly the same as this. The box itself is really rather nice. I like the fact this is sort of quite dinky, and I will be keeping this and probably putting it on display next to the figure once I open it, but that's what we're going to do now. So let's open this up and see what the figure is like. The original Minibots actually had pretty limited articulation, so if I grab an original one here from the background, you can see when you transform it into robot mode, the head sort of flips forward and backwards, the arms pull out and can rotate around like that, and then the legs are sort of stuck in place. You can rotate the feet, but that is it. So it's a very sort of limited articulation figure. That didn't stop me really sort of playing with these as a child. I really did like the way they looked and the way they sort of felt in hand, but this one is supposed to have far more articulation. So let's open this box up and take a look at the figure. Inside the box you get the figure, which is already transformed into robot mode. It comes with an incredibly tiny gun, which I actually had quite a lot of trouble getting it out of the packaging, but you can see that there now in Bumblebee's hand. You also get this collector's card, which shows the same image that's on the front of the box of Bumblebee, and a little bit of information on the back of him in robot mode, and some details of his sort of abilities. There is also this sticker sheet, which is printed onto some incredibly shiny paper, which has a few different variations of the Autobot logo. These sort of weirdly stretched ones, which are reminiscent of how you see the Autobot logo on the illustration there, and a couple of other bits that you can stick onto the figure if you want to. And in fact, if you read the instructions, it says these are totally optional. I'm actually not going to be sticking these onto the figure because I like the sticker that comes with him. He basically has an Autobot logo on the front and a rub sign on the bottom, but we'll look at this figure in more detail shortly. We also get the instruction manual here, which is in Japanese in this version, and it shows you how to transform the vehicle. It's not particularly complicated, very similar actually to the original G1 Minibot, but because he has some sort of more articulation, there are a few more bits to rotate, and it looks like that the gun also can be hidden inside the figure on his foot there. So that's what comes inside the box. Let's take a closer look at the figure, and here he is. This is the Missing Link Bumblebee, and he looks really rather similar to the original one, but of course he has much more articulation. You can see that straight away just in his head. The head on the original one just sort of folds in like that. On this one you can rotate it around as well. His arms are far more jointed. There is a sort of internal shoulder joint there. You can rotate that a little bit, but it is stopped by the plastic of the mudguard. The shoulder does rotate forwards and backwards like the original. That's on a sort of ratcheted joint, so it locks in place. The elbow rotates, and you can rotate his arm up and down, and you can also rotate that around as well. So that's an extra little bit of articulation there. On his legs, I can see that his feet are articulated. There's a little joint inside that. He's also got an ankle joint, so you can rotate that side to side. And then there is a sort of hip joint and knee joint as well, which is a little bit further up, so we can bend that just about there. give him a full pose. Then we can bend his hip as well, so he can basically get into a seated position, which is pretty cool. He is a very nice figure indeed. It feels like it's made out of pretty sturdy plastic. It's got a couple of stickers applied. We've got the one on the back of the head there. In fact, if I bring in my original, you can see that's a pretty good match to that. The rub sign, for some strange reason, is on the bottom of the foot. I'm not sure why they've done that. I know that some of these early figures have the rub sign on the top, and then there are other versions where it's just an Autobot logo and no rub sign, so I'm not sure quite why they put that on the foot there. I would have preferred that on the top. In fact, I may replace that with one from Toy Hacks, just to stick one on the top of the figure. We also have this little gun which I showed you earlier, which is really rather cool. So let's try and turn him into his car mode and see how that goes. So I'm guessing we have to bend his feet down like that, straighten his legs up and get those bent. It's fairly stiff, the joint, so I'm worried a little bit about breaking it, but I'm sure nothing will happen. Then this gun I've seen actually hides inside his foot there, so we can just drop that in and that will clip in place. It's a very small gun, and I imagine I may lose that at some point just because it's so tiny. The toes do clip together, then we can push that into the body, very similar to the original. The head rotates up. I guess we have to rotate those arms around so that the wheels are all pointing outwards like that, and then we can push those into the body like that, and the hands lock in place, and there we go. That's him in car mode, and he does look pretty good. In fact, let me get the original in so we can compare the two, and you can see there's very little difference in the size. In fact, they are pretty much the same length and width. I can see there is a slight difference in the way the head sits in. On the original, the head actually sort of sits pretty flush. You can rotate that in and you can't see any of the head detail. On this one though, it looks like that head can't go in much more than that, so you can actually see bits of the head around the edge of it, so you can see a little bit of his ears there. So that's not quite as good, but otherwise I think that feels really very nice indeed. And as I say, if I show you those two together, that's pretty hard to spot the difference. In fact, I've got one here with the Autobot logo on the top. I think this is actually a reissue from a few years ago because it's got a bit more paint application. Yeah, it's definitely a reissue, but yeah, see, that doesn't look too bad at all. Let me bring in the original. You can compare those two again. Let's transform him back into a robot mode and we'll compare how those two look side by side. I do think this is a really fantastic upgrade and a sort of nice modern reworking of a sort of vintage G1 Transformer. The extra articulation does make this figure just so much more poseable. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. You can pose him in all sorts of different positions compared to the original where you're limited to just sort of arms straight down, legs straight down. It's a massive improvement and he feels really pretty sturdy. Some of the joints are a little bit tight and I'm a little bit worried about breaking things like his feet especially. They are incredibly hard to sort of turn out, but maybe that will loosen with time as I sort of play and pose with this figure a bit more. But he is a massive improvement on the original one, although I do have to say I really like the original G1 Minibots, and they are probably some of my favourites of the G1 Transformers, which is why I collect them so much. But yeah, he is definitely an improvement on this figure, even though this is pretty hard to improve on. If you want to grab these for yourself, I think you can only get them in the aftermarket now, so look on eBay and places like that. When I went to Japan, I only saw this in one shop. In fact, it was in Toys R Us, so I bought it as soon as I saw it, thinking that I might not see it again. And I think it cost me about £35, so certainly not the cheapest of figures, but I'm very pleased that I did pick it up, and he's going to be a nice addition to my collection, and hopefully in time I will find a few more of these. I know there's an Optimus Prime, he looks pretty good, and I think Grimlock is coming, so I'm certainly going to keep an eye out for those. So I know this is a bit late of a review because it has been out for a while, but hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, then make sure to hit the subscribe button, tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video, and if you've really enjoyed it and want to help me out here at toy-polloi, then why not think about becoming a patron of the channel. You get early access to all of my restoration videos, plus access to an exclusive video series called On the Cutting Mat, where I show projects and restorations that you won't see anywhere else. So have a think about that, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos.